Welcome back to NewsMakers. We are with the Christchurch Mayoral candidates. Now we'll give each of the individuals an opportunity to basically state their case as to what attracted them to the race and what are the key issues for you. Paulus Telfer.
Okay, I'm standing for the 51st State Party of New Zealand. I don't care if you don't vote for me. In fact, I don't want the mayor's job. That's the honest truth. I ask you to carefully look at my webpage at 51ststate.com. It contains a lot of information, mind-boggling information, I'm told. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Pleasure. Brad, why are you standing? What are the priorities?
Priorities for me really is that a lot of the community did not want to vote for Jim or Bob. They made that very clear to me on my initial interviews. So I threw my hat in the ring. Priority for me, keeping your rates low. In fact, I've called for a 2-year rates freeze. Bus services have to be improved. We've got an older population staying in their homes longer, so then they need better transport systems. And we also need to be a lot more caring and thoughtful when it comes to our heritage buildings around the city. I'm probably the only Englishman in the race. Who better to look after our heritage buildings?
Peter.
Thank you. Well, Peter Wakeman wants cheaper electricity and believes the community asset of Orion needs to lower its line charges so people can afford to be warm. I'm also running for the Health Board because I think Orion needs to upgrade its network so the Health Board didn't have to have a coal burner. I want hospitals to have better dry access for buses and malls to have dry access. If we're going to try getting people off the roads into buses, it has to be warm and comfortable. So Peter Wakeman is from the Fendleton Waimari ward for Mayor of Christchurch and Waimakariri, and I'm here to look after you. Thank you.
Bob.
Hello, Bob Tomkins. I'd like to see another Bob as Mayor, being me. I would really like to challenge why we want to become a telecommunications company. I think we need to sell that. It's worth $20 to $40 million. We can use that money for earthquake relief. Also, other things like the underground transport terminal, that should be canned at this stage until we know how much money we've actually got available when the city plan is drawn up for after the earthquakes. Thank you.
Kieran.
Hi, Kieran Gallagher-Power. I'm standing for Mayor. I think we've got this great opportunity to build an innately resilient city. We've got a strong electronics sector, got local insurance companies, banking services being set up. I think that we have to ensure that we safeguard and keep hold of our pure water supply. I think that we need to look after our heritage buildings when there's a purpose for them, and then people see that they have a clear identity and a use. And I specifically think that the buildings at the end of Colombo Street there on the intersection with Bryme Street, I think that with the new motorway coming through, there'll be a fabulous entrance for the city, and we should in particular keep them. If I look into Cathedral Square this morning, there's so many people there. They're obviously enjoying themselves, and that's partly perhaps because they can't walk down to the Arts Centre. So right. I think that that's good also. So I'm standing for Mayor because I'm a young person. I'm someone different. I'm not Jim or Bob. If you don't tick for them, tick for Kieran. Thanks.
Thanks, Kieran. Kayne.
I'm Kayne Harrison, running for Mayor. One of the main reasons I decided to run was I wasn't happy with the way the city was being run by our current Mayor. I believe our transport system does need an upgrade, but I do not agree with the way he's trying to do it. We do need a new bus depot, but not where he wants to build it at taking out an entire block of shops. We need to keep our heritage buildings as safe and secure as possible, and I believe that we need more sustainable energy in our city, which is why I'm proposing that at least 10% of buildings being built should have solar hot water heating as a start, and add that into the Clean Heat project for ECAN. That way we can lower power bills for people and give people hot water when there is an emergency.
All right. Nathan.
Hello, I'm Nathan Ryan. I'm running for council and mayor because I'm unhappy with our current mayor and the way our council has been led. I think what we need is a fresh vision and someone that can restore public confidence back into the mayoralty and into the council. We have a great city, but I do believe it can be greater. Key issues, I wish to return to all council core services, concentrate all our spending on that. I want to reduce rates for over 65s whilst reducing rates for first-time home buyers. I want to protect our water. It's a precious asset that we often take for granted. And yes, Nathan Ryan.
Very good. Blair.
Thank you, Mike. These are testing times. The fact that we're having this conversation when half the people have voted already is of concern to me.
People.
Well, of those people that appear to want to vote. My point is that unless we make the mayoral elections a little bit more robust than we've had this particular one, we're failing us all. And I'd suggest that we need to seriously look at single transferable vote to ensure that there is equity in the debate. It's clear from the last election that Bob was elected on less than 20% of the eligible voters, and it could be said this from the polls that Jim this time round is much the same. That doesn't instill confidence in mayoral leadership when 4 out of 5 people don't support the incumbent mayor.
All right. Rik.
Thank you, Mike. This is the sustainability election. We need a new mayor, a mayor who understands the value of sound regulation and community consultation and involvement. That's not what we've had in the previous council. We need to communicate with the residents whose homes have been disrupted, have been damaged, and Bexley in particular. They need to be consulted, and Avonside too, kept involved in the discussion every step of the way. If land is deemed uninhabitable, they need to be presented with social housing in some cases where they can go and be part of the design of that and the location of that. We don't know, there might be new areas of development required to meet the great need for housing today. And we can use new industry, that's the key, new industry, training and involvement, employment for youth, get them off the destructive negative behaviours in the city which so many people complain about, and help employ them in their own future.
Very good. Thank you very much for joining us, and all the very best in the elections. I know some of you are standing as City Council candidates as well. Make sure you vote. The clock is ticking. Take care. Good night.